The right shows at the right times are right here.
You let a gay pride parade in your neighborhood, and there goes the neighborhood. Let me show you. This is what some people in Concord, California believe. And they won a referendum in Concord, California, 30 miles from San Francisco, because they don't want San Francisco to come to Concord. And here's the tape they showed that beat an effort to have a gay pride parade. Here are scenes from a gay pride parade in San Francisco. And they dropped a videotape of this on like 10,000 doorsteps in Concord, California. These guys are buck naked. And the people in Concord beat the ordinance. You can't have a gay pride celebration in Concord, California. And here's one of the reasons why. Reverend Lloyd Mayshore, pastor of the Concord Christian Center. It's a lifestyle. Is this your point? That you shouldn't have a gay pride parade because...
has nothing to do with the gay pride parade. It has to do...
But you can't have one.
You can have one. Absolutely nothing prohibiting it in our city.
You can have a gay pride parade in Concord, California, and it's okay with you?
So long as you get a permit from the police department and so long as they make a judgment that public safety or public in general is not in jeopardy, yes, you can have a parade in Concord.
So it's not about the right to have a parade. It's about the right as to whether or not, as gay and lesbian people, we have the right to live and work in the community. That's what this is about. Well, it's outright discrimination.
No, it's not about that. Here's what it's about.
What's
it's about not legislating laws based on sexual behavior. It's not about eliminating housing, and it's not about taking anybody's job away.
Then why did you fight for an ordinance that would take away the rights of people with AIDS from employment and housing? Shame on you. That was terrible. The city was protecting everybody, and you stood up there, you ran for office on your tax-exempt foundations there, getting into the political process, Lloyd. Yeah. Shame on you.
Well, Gil, you know, if you tell the people the truth about that, of course, we didn't see you around our neighborhood then at that particular juncture. That AIDS ordinance was really a cloak for gay rights. And if you tell the people this new ordinance that passed, no challenge was made to the the AIDS element because the people of Concord really weren't discriminating against people with AIDS.
Mark, the real issue has always been, and always will be, that real Christian teachings say we're supposed to care about people. And what happened was, you people walked on the back of people who were sick with AIDS and said they didn't have a right to have any kind of protection.
And we do care about our families.
Here is what not a few civil libertarians believe is the anti-gay message of both Reverend Mayshore and Mark Zapelik, who are here present, and this is part of the tape that they distributed. Here's what bothers them about gay, politically active gay people. Watch this.
Do you want the San Francisco homosexual lobby to be successful here in the city of Concord? Do you want family values? Do you want picnics, Little League ball games? Or do you want the city of Concord's future to go the direction of San Francisco? And in the city of Concord, would you support having gay parades? Would you like to see more gay bars here in the city of Concord? Or would you rather see our community values, our family-oriented community, to set its own standards? I hope you will join me on this coming election day and vote yes on Measure M.
Did you see the first lie? Did you see the lie where it said, do you want a gay parade in this town? They were scaring people that if you vote this way, you're going to have a gay parade. Now he says, oh, that's okay.
And people will be walking naked down the street in front of your children.
Oh, please, get over it. You don't do that even in San Francisco.
Phil, what's really important here? What's really important here is the simple fact that, that parade is set in San Francisco. It's a Mardi Gras situation. It's no different than what you would see in New Orleans, which is very much a heterosexual parade.
Yes.
The other point,
Ken, are not asking for special minority status for
you
their
call
behavior.
special minority status the right to be able to live and work in the community, Mark.
No, the right to make the Boy Scouts take gay leaders.
Tell me.
The right to make a Christian school hire a gay teacher specifically like from the Bengal organization that pushes their agenda in front of the children.
Having a Christian school or a Christian organization is protected under the law anyway. You don't have to hire somebody who isn't Christian.
The person on the end, one, why are you dressed?
Reverend Mayshore. Oh, I'm sorry. No, yes, this is
We should ask Longway to dress that way,
Gil
too.
Block. That's this Gil Block. He's a drag queen. He ran for Concord City Council against Mr. Zapalik, who's second from the left there. They both ran against each other, and they both lost.
Do you dress like that every day? Are we supposed to take you seriously dressed like that?
Oh, my God. You know how much work is involved to do this? And it's uncomfortable, too. This is a costume. I do political theater. This is political art form, making fun of the double standards and the bigotry that are espoused by these characters who are counterfeit Christians claiming for these traditional values. Now, here's one guy who is still in his 30s. I hear that you've been married 4 or 5 times. Why don't you tell us how many times did you have taken that vow of marital fidelity?
Just like you had to comment that seeing what we saw wasn't the truth, and just like Mr. Stanley said that the people don't walk out there naked on the San Francisco streets, you have your information absolutely upside down.
Let me show you where Concord, California is, first of all. Notice that it's only 30 miles from San Francisco, between San Francisco and Sacramento. The question is, do the people of Concord, are they concerned that San Francisco's values, the big city values, the liberal image of San Francisco would come to Concord, and that there would be what they perceive to be non-traditional values expressed? I accept, just let me make the point, Reverend Mayshore's point that it is legal to have a gay parade in Concord. I don't know if there have you had one?
We have never had a gay parade.
Never had one. I don't think it misstates your position to say that you hope there never will be one. That's not a... Do I understand you, Reverend Mayshore?
I do not think that it would add to the diversity of our community. But
more important, the Measure M, which you sponsored and which passed, almost 25,000 votes cast, it passed by 43 votes. Disallows sexual orientation to be considered as a matter of civil liberty. Do I understand what this measure does?
No, that's not what it's about, Phil.
That's exactly what it's about, Mark.
You have your opinion, we have ours.
But you don't have the only opinion here today.
Yes, but I'd like to express
you to at least allow this audience to understand what's happened here.
Yes.
We have here, if I am correct, for the first time, a referendum, the good old American way, where people vote on issues of, for example, should there be laws prohibiting anti-gay discrimination within the municipality of Concord. And the people by 43 votes said, no, there should be no legal protection of gay citizens.
No, Phil, you totally misunderstand what this is about. You see, because homosexuals already have the same rights as all of us under the state and federal constitution. What we're talking about here is creating a new minority based simply upon what a person does in their behavior. And let me add to this. My point is that our initiative took away that minority status for Lloyd and I and bisexuals and homosexuals. We haven't removed one liberty from anybody on this stage that we weren't willing to say we didn't have either.
That is an outright lie, and I do have to say this. Mr. Mayshore is in the process, he's in court right now, and one of the reasons that he's in court is because he supposedly didn't live in Concord at the time of his election. The judge, in 2 hearings, the judge he selected, said that Mr. Mayshore's own testimony was not credible, and that basically it's a lie. And I mean, he says this under oath. So help you God. So how can anybody believe what these people say? I mean, they lie in court. They lie under oath.
This effort to, are you there, caller? What did you want to say?
How dare they tell people what they can and can't do? Next thing you know they'll be saying is that black people can't live in Concord.
Well, let me show you. Can you see your television set?
Certainly.
These media-wise folks who succeeded in a referendum that gays see as not only unconstitutional but anti-gay did go to the minority community, and they found this gentleman to speak in their behalf. Watch this, caller.
I'm upset that the homosexual community is trying to gain minority status. I've known discrimination because of my heritage, and I know what it costs for my civil.
This is a special report from Channel 7 News.
Hi, I'm Pete Giddings, and we've just gotten a special weather bulletin, an advisory from the National Weather Service. They have placed an urban and small stream flood advisory tonight for the San Francisco Bay Area. This goes until 4 a.m., as does a flash flood and mudslide watch in northern and central California for the following counties: Sonoma, Marin, San Mateo, western Santa Clara, Santa Cruz, Monterey, and San Luis Obispo. We'll have latest details at 5 o'clock.
This has been a special report from Channel 7 News.
A lot of issues. They would tell me that's racist.
We now join our regularly scheduled program, already in progress.
Other blacks, therefore, are going to believe with me and them. And I find out that the Black Families Association in Concord doesn't know this person and isn't involved with this person.
Well, guess what? He's lived in our city a lot longer than I have, and he never heard of the Black Families Association leader either, so he doesn't have a right to express his opinion. Now who's trying to suppress
He certainly has a right to express his opinion, but when he's not the majority of people, it's not correct.
May I have your attention?
Well, since this is just one particular minority, wouldn't that be the case with any other minority in Congress?
No, they're saying that sexual orientation is not the same as blackness or Asianness.
Right.
Is that? Do I have?
That's exactly right. It's a behavior.
They're saying this is a lifestyle that's voluntary and that you can change, and therefore should be excluded from anti-discrimination laws. Are you there, caller?
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with the town. I think that the homosexuals wouldn't have any problem at all if they would just keep it to themselves and stop trying to act like they're special because they're gay.
And don't flaunt it, you mean?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
What about those people who aren't obvious about it?
You know, if you were a landlord and you knew that the applicant was gay, would you rent to them?
Yes.
I know you'll be honest.
Yes.
Would you hire a gay person?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Phil, in the city of Concord...
And if you would refuse to hire a gay person, you know, someone not as open and understanding as you, if you would refuse to hire a person because they're gay, do you think that should be illegal?
I'm not sure.
Well, constitutionally, we're all citizens of this country.
If you refuse to hire a person because they're black, should that be illegal?
Yes.
But you're not sure about gayness.
I'm not sure.
Anybody else while I'm out here in this neighborhood?
Phil, isn't it a shame that we can come up with conditions that say someone else out there has a right to determine whether I can live where I choose, work where I am capable, and buy products where I wish to?
Yes.
No one should have that kind of power over anyone.
Part of the problem is the perception that the gays, all gays, act the way the people in that video did in the gay rights parade.
Well, that's
and I think that's unfair.
And you would probably argue that the good Gil Block is what, probably setting back the cause because of his outrageous costume and so on?
I think that there is a tendency by certain people like
wear a blue suit and look nice like me.
Well, let's remember that there are 25 million others.
They can be their own worst enemies in that respect because the majority of homosexuals do not conduct themselves in that manner.
That's very true.
And the difficulty is for someone who doesn't has not had experience with a gay person.
So let me also say this too, that you know, in Concord, many of us have families. We live in the same homes that heterosexual people do. I mean, what you see in that video is not an example of what we're about.
Are you there,
it's as simple as that.
I am, Phil.
What do you think?
I just wanted to say that, first of all, I can't believe that was shown on TV and that gays shouldn't be discriminated, but they shouldn't be doing public displays like that. Whether you're gay or not, it shouldn't be shown in public. I mean, if you want to do that, you can do it in your own home.
Let me ask the caller this question. Did you see you saw the movie South Pacific?
No, I haven't.
Well, there's a thing in there where the guys dress up with coconuts in their T-shirts, you know?
Uh-huh.
You know, there is nothing like a dame, and they jiggle and everything. Now, what's the difference?
There is no difference, and that's why I put on this costume. And not only that, I want you to know that I'm squeaky clean.
I don't know why people continue to oppress other people. There's enough problem in our society that we should try to advocate
You
for.
saw the spot now. They believe that once you open the door and you start passing laws, that the next thing you know, gays are school counselors, which are encouraging your children, et cetera, et cetera.
But I think that's because you have your own fear. It's your own inner fear of who you are and whatever. And so if you have a belief, then you're not going to be threatened by that.
Phil,
so you continue to oppress other people.
Concord used to be a nice place at
It's
one
not
time.
about fear. We have an example 30 miles from our community called San Francisco. 20 years ago, San Francisco was decidedly different until they made concession to the gay community, and now it is dominated. You cannot do anything by way of public service, by way of getting elected, unless you have the stamp of approval of the gay community.
But this is another way of saying that the gays in San Francisco have coalesced to become a very powerful political lobby. What's wrong with that?
Well, I might ask you, what's wrong with the Christians in our community forming our lobby and standing up for our values?
Because nothing's wrong with it except to suggest to you that there are a lot of those Christians that are gay.
Because you pushed down our throat,
vote, and the community has the right, according to the U.S. Supreme Court, Phil, they have the responsibility to set the tone in their community. What's okay, what we showed you in San Francisco, if the people who live there like that, that's fine for them. In our family community, we're not about that stuff.
You don't want to, the big city values are coming to Concord, and they don't like this.
That's exactly it. Phil, they push their religion down our throats in Concord. You know, the whole thing that homosexuality is wrong is a fundamentalist Christian belief. They push that religious belief on the entire community. There's something else I've got to say, too. Guys, you have said this over and over and over again, that sexual preference is a choice. So I have got to ask you, when you guys were younger, what were your choices? Did you have more than one choice?
Yeah, I could have been homosexual, heterosexual,
so you're saying you had homosexual feelings as a child?
I decided to be a heterosexual.
You actually got up one Tuesday morning when you were 13 years old and decided that you were...
Well, you know, between the environment I lived in and the rearing of my parents...
You could have gone either way, huh?
No, what I was going to say was I was in the environment that
nourished the
heterosexual.
Are you there, caller? Hi, you had a brief comment.
Yes, hi. I'm a 20-year-old gay male, and I went to my first gay pride here in Boston, and I thought it was great, you know? And I think one day out of the year will not hurt anyone. We can be ourselves.
I do want to say again, I don't want to mislead the people, as I may have at the beginning of our program. Apparently, a gay pride parade in Concord is legal. Whether or not it'll ever happen remains to be seen. What is important for you to know, for the purpose of this broadcast, is that Concord's effort to establish prohibitions of against gay bias have been defeated by a popular referendum in which 25,000 votes were cast, and it won. That is to say, much to the dismay of gay people, it won by only 43 votes, spearheaded by a tape that apparently scared the hell out of a lot of people. You have much more to say, and I'll give you that opportunity in just a moment.
I can still remember the very first candy given to me by my grandfather. It was Werther's Original, and I was 4. I had a little trouble opening that shiny golden wrapper, but then, well, I'll never forget that first taste. Sweet and creamy and just plain good. But there was something else, too. I remember feeling I must be somebody very special when my grandpa gave me his wonderful butter candy. So, now I'm the grandfather. And what else would I give my little grandson but my Werther's Original? He's somebody special, too.
Need to clean little messes without the big noise? Get the new Dirt Devil Sweeper. Tired of fumbling with a broom and dustpan? Get the new Dirt Devil Sweeper. It cleans forwards or backwards and empties in a snap. Get the new Dirt Devil Sweeper.
I love New York fabric, New York fabric, New York fabric, the fabulous
President's Day sale. Save 20% on all fashion and home decorating fabrics, 30% on all sewing machines, and 40% on all notions. And all Simplicity and McCall's patterns are just $1.99. Sale ends Monday.
Walt Disney's World on Ice brings all your favorite friends together, live and in person. The DuckTales. The Little Mermaid and Sebastian. Under the sea. The Rescue Rangers join the adventure too. Crazy Roger Rabbit. And of course, you know who. See them all together live at Walt Disney's World on Ice.
Now playing at the Cow Palace through February 17th. Don't miss it. Good seats available as late as showtime. Richard Brown and Terrell and Joe, tonight on Channel 7 News at 6.
Let me make 3 points, Bill.
Hi, I'm glad you waited, caller. Go ahead.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
I'm just calling to say I'm Stacy from Buffalo, and I would like to tell everybody on that show that they should just leave these people alone. I mean, I'm a Christian, and I think they should all leave these people alone.
In other words, if you're gay, be proud, and you should be covered by, it should be against the law to discriminate against people who are gay. Not so, says the ordinance has passed by referendum.
Not only that, here's the best part. This character who claims to be a Christian and has this Christian center.
You're not going to get personal now, Gil.
Well, now listen, here's the thing. They talk about traditional values, and yet, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's a matter of public record. Wasn't your son charged with selling cocaine, Lloyd?
Well,
Isn't that true?
Well, that doesn't make him less a Christian.
No, but how about the traditional values?
Yeah. Are you? See, the fly paper will stick. Don't do that, Gil. Are you? Let me show you. I did not identify the Reverend Larry Witzel, who is pastor of the Diablo Valley Metropolitan Church. Reverend Mayshore and Mr. Zapalik think that maybe one of the worst things that ever happened to Concord, California, a bedroom community, as Main Street media would call it, 30 miles from San Francisco, was the arrival of the Diablo Valley Metropolitan Church, and they put it in their own video this way. Watch this. Here comes the devil.
In 1985, the Metropolitan Community Church came to our city. Its membership comes largely from the homosexual community. Also in 1985, the Human Relations Commission was formed, and on that commission were a number of people who wanted to advance the homosexual agenda here in our city. So in 1989, they came out with the AIDS ordinance, which you know caused this city to be divided right down the middle and polarized the city and caused a great deal of difficulty.
The AIDS ordinance would have essentially banned discrimination against those people who may be HIV positive.
But I think there's another issue here that needs to be mentioned. I think when we talk about people who are Christians, we tend to lump everybody together. Christianity is pretty diverse. What they don't talk about is in that particular parade, yes, there are some people that offend me. They are about 0.1% of that parade. They don't talk about the 300 to 500 gays and lesbians who are Christians who march in that parade every year, sing traditional Christian songs, and believe what they're singing.
And believe in
they
God.
have a right to be protected.
Are you there, caller? Hi.
Yes, I am.
What do you think?
The two gentlemen on the right, I'd like them to explain what that parade at the start of the show meant. I had my 5-year-old son watching this show. I had to throw him out of the room. He's saying, Daddy, Daddy, what is that guy doing to that man on the motorcycle? And you want to be accepted by the heterosexual community, and you shove that down our face down Main Street? You people just set back yourselves 50 years by doing something like that. That was an outrage.
You can't lump an entire society together because of one act by 1 or 2 people.
In Europe, they got over it.
You know, let me tell you about something about that parade. I was at the parade. I shot that footage. I had no idea what I was in for the day I went there.
This was in San Francisco?
In San Francisco, a block from where I worked for 8 years. Now, I asked a policeman, why do these people have the right to go down here naked? And he said, if we tried to stop those people from what they're doing, we might have a riot on our hands. and that would be terrible. So what it means is if you get a few thousand people together, you can break the law and get away with it.
Yeah, but, you know, we could have a reasonable dialogue about the propriety of nudity in a parade. And the Christians and all the people will gather and discuss it. Your political purpose does extend much farther than that.
It is much
you
further than
don't
just
like
the parade
gay people,
issue.
Mr. Zappolick.
That's not true.
You don't want any gay pride parade in your town. And incidentally, what would be wrong with a couple of more gay bars in Concord,
Bill,
California?
there was an
What would
incident
happen?
several years ago.
I think he's asking me a question.
I still think this is important.
Okay.
Bill, there was an incident several years ago when language was introduced in the paper that was very violently oriented. We got together with the then leaders of traditional values to sign a simple statement that says, we agree violence is wrong, as one kind of traditional value we agree upon. They could not sign that because they said that the problem was we were pushing our homosexual agenda, which they defined to mean we acknowledge we exist. Well, we exist, whether they like it or not.
Over here.
The gentleman in the middle, you had said that some things in the gay parade do offend you, and I want to know if the video that they dropped on the doorsteps did offend you.
Absolutely.
Are you there, caller? Hi.
Hi, Phil.
What do you
I was
think?
just going to say that I think that, you know, the women during the 60s, they wore their hair long, they wore mini skirts to get the attention to their civil rights, to get what we need in this country to bring us up to the status of men. Well, I think that's exactly what these gay parades are doing. They're being outlandish. They're showing off in such ways to make them get the attention they need to gain their civil rights. Not that I condone it.
I understand your point. I understand your point. In any event, the behavior, however much it may be disapproved by some people, should not be used to disallow the full force of the Constitution on all people, including anti-gay discrimination ordinances. Are you there, caller? What did you want to say?
Yes, people of the same sex cannot have children. They cannot bear children.
And therefore,
it's wrong.
And therefore, it's wrong.
Yes.
How about two people who are sterile, or if they've got a tubal? I mean, is that wrong?
Well, no, it's not wrong, but it's a medical problem.
Lots of lesbians give birth. I got news for you.
So what do you want to do with these gay people?
I just think they should wake up.
And do what?
And just...
We are, darling. We are.
No, you're not awake because...
But my sense is that you wish they would just shut up.
Yes, that's just shut up and
yeah, would you say that to a black person?
No, never.
Well, the gay people are saying they are subjected to the same kind of ignorance and prejudice that befell Rosa Parks, who couldn't sit in the front of the bus. Do you see the parallel there?
I see it, but it's different.
You see it, but it's different.
May I make a point?
You may make a point as soon as I make this break. You're first. We'll be back in just a moment.
Now through Monday during Emporium's President's Day mattress sale, you'll save on sale-priced Sealy, Serta, and Simmons mattresses. Plus, now through Monday only, receive an additional 10% off our already low sale prices.
From Walt Disney Pictures, this Valentine's Day, rediscover the romance of Beauty and the Beast. You came back. See the most beautiful love story ever told with someone you love. Disney's Beauty and the Beast, rated G. Now playing at a theater near you.
Bad rap, huh? New evidence shows it was a bad rap. Eggs contain 22% less cholesterol than previously thought. California Fresh Eggs. Give them a break.
Ever since McDonald's came out with their new Wild Friends Happy Meal, my boy Billy has changed.
Billy, did you floss?
Four movable toys that have taught him so much about animals, he's practically become one himself. Billy, stop dragging your trunk. And they all come with their own fun book. McDonald's new Wild Friends Happy Meal. Billy goes ape over them.
Let's see here. Oh, a pineapple. Why a pineapple? We never buy pineapple.
Well.
Are we expecting a flu epidemic here? Or what?
This week at Petrini's, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, and Slice, only $1.59 a six-pack. Boar's Head, New York pastrami, and corned beef, $6.99 a pound. Golden grain rice or noodle-roni, 89 cents.
Oh, cottage cheese. We don't eat cottage cheese. And look at this, sweet pickles. I don't like sweet pickles.
I know you don't, but my mother does.
Oh, no.
Don Sanchez and Cheryl Jennings tonight on Channel 7 News at 5.
To be part of the audience, please send a postcard to Donahue Tickets, care of NBC, 30 Rockefeller Plaza, New York, 10112. Remember, postcards only, please.
You should know that the attempt to disallow the passage of anti-gay discrimination ordinances in Concord, California, approved by the voters, is now in the courts with all kinds of ACLU. Now, lots of people came down from the mountain and said, wait a minute, that's unconstitutional. You wanted to say, Reverend?
Bill, the point I wanted to make is we have been characterized as being fascist, extremist, bigots, and you would think by the implication on this panel that we invented this attack against the homosexuals and that we are the first people in the history of our nation to oppose this. Right. So I'd like this on the record. Please. There is a statement from our Supreme Court that says to hold that the act of homosexual sodomy is somehow a protected fundamental right would be to cast aside 1,000 years of moral teachings. In short, gay rights law meet none of the traditional requirements for human protection. Just a moment. I'm almost finished.
Castle versus the state of Georgia.
I'm almost finished.
Very good. Yes.
Homosexuals have never been able to demonstrate a convincing pattern of discrimination that causes them socioeconomic injury. They are a class.
Make his point here. Yes.
They are a class of people linked together through behavior, not unchangeable status.
Yes.
Their actions are not morally neutral, and I'm almost finished. Reasonable people, for reasons of deep-seated moral convictions of health, psychological stability, or common sense, may wish to take a person's homosexual lifestyle into their decision-making process without the slightest tinge of bigotry or irrationality. End of speech.
Who wrote it?
Bowers versus Hardwick.
Hardwick versus in the state of Georgia. Is that a Rehnquist majority? Did he write for them? That was 5-4.
Yes.
United States Supreme Court. Really? 5-4? You cannot have oral sex in the state of Georgia, even if you're married. Now, I want you to write this down because I don't want any trouble from this audience when you go to Georgia.
This is about keeping these people out of your bedroom. That's what it's about. It's about keeping these people out of your bedroom. That's what it's about.
He makes the point, though. The Supreme Court...
This is about the subjugation of all women across this country. It's a red herring that it's just the gay and lesbian issue. These people want their wives barefoot pregnant and in the kitchen, and all the rest can die from abortions in back alleys and getting raped and mugged and assaulted.
Are you there, caller?
50% of the earnings of men.
I'm glad you waited, caller. Go ahead.
Yes, I have two uncles that are gay, and I love them very much, but one of them is really outspoken. He even tries to make sexual overtones to my husband, and that is very offensive to me. And I also have one that is currently in prison for molesting my niece.
Yeah.
I think that, gay people are okay, but they can bring unpleasant and very offensive atmosphere to a community.
Yeah, there are gay jerks, no question about it. But there are heteros.
It's all the way around. I agree, but
yeah. All right. I do appreciate your call. I thank you. Are you there? Hi.
Yes. I'm hoping I'm allowed to finish this. I'm sick to death of the entertainment industry cramming homosexuality down our throats. It's disgusting, and I'm fed up with it.
Then close your mouth.
Oh, get off the stage. I mean, you're up there on a platform dressed like an idiot, and you're expected to be taken seriously?
Yeah.
Here I am.
Yeah. So the gay people should just shut up.
Well, something should be done with them. I mean, all they seem to do is cause problems, don't they?
What should be done with them?
Maybe a concentration
camp. I don't know, but if we all
got
out together and talked about it, maybe we could figure out what could be done with them.
Well, you don't want to ship them out to an island somewhere, do you?
No, but I really wish they'd all go back in the closet and make life peaceful again.
Gil, I got so many clothes.
I'll give you all a chance. See you in just a moment. We'll be back in a moment.
I told my girlfriend Rochelle I had dry skin. She kept telling me not to use soap.
Dove contains 1/4 moisturizing cream. It won't dry your face like soap.
With Dove, my face feels smoother, even better than Rochelle's. Don't tell her I said that.
He vowed he'd return to prove their love affair with butter didn't have to end because of cholesterol.
Jimmy, you're back.
This is for you.
the taste you love without the cholesterol.
Today's Contact takes on
Carol's horrible cold. I have a lot of congestion in through here. I'm like it's going to blow off the top of my head.
You took a cold pill, right?
The effects wore off. The congestion's coming back.
That's because ordinary cold pills can quit working after just 4 hours. Try Contact. You'll get continuous relief for up to 12 hours.
I felt wonderful. All my symptoms were gone. Everything dried up. It's for busy people who have no time to be sick. This is a great product, and I'm going to go out and buy it tonight.
Today's Contact, 12 hours stronger than Carol's horrible cold. This is a Channel 7 News Brief.
You'll see what the storm is doing to motorists, the Sierra, travel conditions, the snowpack, and the drought. I'm Cheryl Jennings, also coming up on Channel 7 News at 5. The National Weather Service issues a flash flood and mudslide advisory as a landslide hits part of the fire-ravaged East Bay Hills. Also, we'll take you live to Concord to get reaction from local residents about their city's politics being aired on the Donahue show you're watching right now. Please join Don Sanchez and me for Channel 7 News at 5.
Got a problem? Well, Almay has a solution. Problem, solution. It's a great idea in skincare. Specific solutions to specific problems. When your skin needs soothing, there's Almay Anti-Irritant. If you need a little boost of moisture, there's Almay Moisture Multiplier. Problems with your hands, eyes, lips? No problem. Almay. Problem, solution. Why would I use anything else? And why would you?
Listen, here. If this movie doesn't touch your heart, then you just don't have one.
It's about real bravery
And real heroes. It hits home.
Once you see it, you will feel it.
You live these little boys' lives.
It brings me back 25 years.
Once you feel it, you will never forget it.
It really touched me.
It's fabulous. Powerful.
Experience the feeling at a special sneak preview Saturday night. Radio Flyer, powered by Imagination, rated PG-13.
May I, did you want to say something while you were interrupted here?
Here that the Supreme Court has...
Reverend Larry Witzel, pastor of the Diablo Valley Metropolitan Church, a church in Concord, California, which has, among other things, in addition to preaching and witnessing the Word of God, stands up and promotes gay rights. You wanted to say, Reverend.
The Constitution supposedly protects us. The fact is, people can get fired, can lose their jobs.
And killed.
They can be killed. My life has been threatened more than once. It's a rather scary kind of proposition to get phone calls on at your home to say, faggot, you need to die.
Yeah.
That's very scary.
So, I don't think you should not have to argue about the existence of homophobia and gay bashing in America.
But the Constitution does not really protect us. And maybe the Supreme Court judges sitting believe that we should not have rights. But my Christian teaching tells me that every human being should be treated with dignity and respect. It is not respectful to tell anyone you have to be afraid constantly about whether you can keep your apartment, keep your job, shop where you choose, live where you want to. That's not dignity.
I also have had my life threatened, threatening phone calls, threatening letters. Mr. Zaplick has had his life threatened. I'm sure the other members of the panel, we have all suffered the same indignities. And I must issue this disclaimer. I am an elected official for the city of Concord, and I sit on the city council. And I'm here not to speak in that capacity, nor am I representing my 4 other colleagues as city council members. I am here to express my own opinion and my own concerns, so I need to make sure that I issue that disclaimer.
The Human Relations Commission's attempt to promote or include in the municipal schedule of the year for Concord, California, a gay pride parade, for example, was approved, with you being the only dissenter. Is that so?
Well, there wasn't a gay pride parade proposed. It was a
Gay Pride Week.
Gay Pride Week.
And you did vote against that.
Yes.
Phil, and you were the only member of the council to do so.
Yes.
Phil, the thing is,
now,
the
may I
whole
tell you
thing
why?
is here is that when we started this, okay, when all of this came about, Mr. Mayshore kept saying, we don't want a parade in Concord, we don't want a parade in Concord, we don't want a parade. I don't know how many times to where everybody in the city thought that we wanted a parade. It was supposed to be a dinner, and that's all it was supposed to be. I've also got to say one other thing, too. That video, when it was passed out, and I think myself it's a piece of filth. It was passed out by the youth group from his church, from what I understand.
It was passed out as campaign literature to alert, as I understand the motives here, the community of Concord as to what happens the minute you open the door to gay people. I think that's the point.
I need to answer why I wasn't in favor of the Gay Pride Week.
You're not in favor.
I am not in favor.
Yes, sir.
And I'm also not in favor of a Happy Christianity Week. I think this is the wrong arena for local government to be sponsoring, spending tax dollars. I would not, and the reason is
How
for
about
this.
a Black Pride Week?
Let me finish my statement first. The reason of this, there are gays, there are fundamentalists, there are Baptists, there are Jews, there are Muslims, there are bigots. There are all of that in our community. Whenever we begin spending city taxpayers' dollars to emphasize the differences of our groups, we bring turmoil and polarization into our community, and that's why I'm not in favor.
We also have to make the point.
With time running out.
We also have to make the point, too, that there was no tax dollars involved in this. It was simply a decree from the Human Relations Commission saying that it would be something for us to do.
And if you believe that, I got some waterfront property in Arizona I'll sell you.
This woman may make her point, please.
Please. I've been in the minorities, and I have had discrimination, and it's ugly. These two gentlemen who are fighting for their rights, that's fine. But this person at the end who's making a mockery of what they're trying to do, that's stupid.
Stupid. He's fully clothed.
I'm a clown, darling. I'm a clown. I'm making fun of this double standard.
Would you go up to a Hasidic Jew and say, "Hey, get those funny curls off your head"?
No, because that's part of their religion.
Well, but this is part of his fun. This is part of his
religion are two different things.
Well, this is also as a public citizen. I am a patriotic American who would stand up, dare to stand up in a costume like this in a bigoted town like Concord at great personal risk and denounce these people using their tax exemptions, lying, being found as liars in court, and still there are no criminal investigations against these guys.
You may have your own talk show any day now. I'll give you a chance. Please bear up with my... I regret that I have to break here, but I have no choice. Back in a moment. Here we go.
Hi, Pat Sajak here with your Channel 7 celebrity programming lineup. Now, right now, it's about half past Oprah, and up next is, Donahue. Donahue, yes. And then at 5, stand by for the Channel 7 News, the right shows at the right time, right here on Channel...
Weeknights, get the latest national and international news a full 90 minutes earlier. ABC World News Tonight at 5:30, weeknights on Channel 7.
Get the lowest prices with guaranteed hot buys from Safeway.
This week's guaranteed lowest price is on tender pork loin chops and pork loin roast at only $1.88 a pound. You save up to $1.81 a pound. It's the lowest price in years. Stock up today.
Get low prices, guaranteed. Shop Safeway and save.
It's President's Day celebration at JCPenney. 4 days only, Friday through this Monday. Save 25 to 50% on all great fitting jeans for men, women, teens, and kids. Save 25 to 50% on all athletic footwear for mom, dad, and the kids. Save 25 to 50% on all athletic apparel for the entire family. It's 4 days only, Friday through this Monday. So paint us in and save 25 to 50% during our President's Day sale at JCPenney.
What do you say? What do you say?
The other day, I gave my son $1 for his allowance. He looked at me and said, "What's this, the tip?" So I took it back and brought it to Burger King. And they gave me a delicious flame-broiled double cheeseburger for 99 cents. Imagine that, 99 cents, which meant I had a penny left over. So I gave it to my son. He asked, "What's this?" I said, "Your allowance." The kid needed an attitude adjustment.
Your way, right away, Burger King now.
Catch the Channel 7 sports team weeknights at 5, 6, and 11. To be part of the audience, please send a postcard to Donahue Tickets, care of NBC, 30 Rockefeller Plaza, New York, New York, 10112. Remember, postcards only, please.
Sir, you wanted to make what point?
Yeah, to the guy in the end, I don't understand how dressing up like an oversized Captain America is going to help the gay cause at all.
I'll tell you why. The answer to that is, what do you think compelled me to do things like this? A young black man who was a gay man was hung to death in this city just a few years ago. And they covered it up and said...
That's something, Phil, that I think really needs to be talked about. The death of Timothy Lee. That young man, yes. That was not a suicide. That's the other thing. That was not a suicide, Mark. We don't believe that, Mark. We don't believe that, Mark.
Very ugly evidence of the reality of gay bashing in this city. Yes.
You know, Ken, you went on record in our community saying the gay community was under siege when another gay man was murdered by two, and when the investigation showed he was killed by two other homosexuals as they met at one of those little bookstores in the neighborhood next door.
And I've been wrong before, Mark, and I admit it.
For that, you're blaming us for Timothy Lee.
I've been wrong before, Mark. I've been wrong before, Mark, and I admit it. But the problem is,
does the name Donahue ring a bell with anybody here?
Why the comparison between black discrimination and homosexual discrimination?
But isn't discrimination regardless of where it...
Well, there's a difference here. I mean, I feel sorry for black people walk into a job marketplace and that's physical.
Yes.
But
do you think gays are discriminated against?
Yes, but
Does it bother you that they are?
Yes, but it doesn't bother me. I think they should keep it to themselves. I keep my...
You should be in the closet.
No, I don't make a big point that I'm heterosexual. I don't think...
Phil, it's important that your audience understand. Again...
Please, I'll give you a chance. I'm just mining the gold out here. Yeah.
I don't think that being gay is a wrong decision, just as I don't think that being heterosexual is a right decision. It's just a different decision, and I think you people should be aware of that.
Yes, you think what?
Yes. I just wondered, you're two big men on the left-hand side, and I wonder what makes you feel so threatened by gay people?
I'm not threatened by gay people. What I object to, ma'am, is the fact that they want my city to legislate a special right and privilege because of what they do in their bedroom. You know, smokers, that's a behavior too, but they didn't include that in the ordinance.
Are you there, caller? Hi.
Yes, hi.
What do you think?
I'd like to say that part of the reason that this country was founded was to give those who were persecuted religious and moral freedom.
Yes.
And I am completely tired of Christians passing judgment on the morals of others, especially when the history of Christianity is filled with subjugation and violence.
As a Christian, I'm upset by Christians.
Are you there, caller? Hi.
Hello?
Yes, you wanted to say.
Well, I just called to say I'm 26 years old. I'm a gay white male. I live outside of New York City.
Right.
And I'm embarrassed by the man on the end there because people just think that because this man dresses like that he represents the gay community. And I'm ashamed to admit it. I mean, but I just think, you know, people think that I leave work and I come home and put on a dress and swing from the chandeliers because of him.
There are 25 million gay men and women in this country, and who knows how many bisexuals. You can't imagine that they're all running around looking like this. This takes a lot of work, effort, and money. We're few and far between, but we should be allowed to do what we do,
May I ask the caller a question?
Yes.
Are you out of the closet?
Yes, I am.
And everything's fine at work?
Everything's fine. Everything is great.
Well, why wouldn't you celebrate a little frivolity here and good cheer?
Because here we're trying to come along, and we've gotten so far. What I'm trying to say is, you know, I'm not condemning him for what he does or anything, but I'm just saying, you know, people look at that, and I can understand because people assume because I'm gay that I throw on a dress and I put on makeup, and that's what bothers me.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's going to be the difference with homophobia. I really don't.
Right.
I mean, I don't think Gil is going to create homophobia. I think it's already there. Let this young woman make a point.
Hi, I just wanted to say is that gay people, it's all right. That's your decision to be gay, but
put a suit on.
When it starts to affect the children, that's when we have the problem.
We'll give you all a
I agree
chance
that you
to
should
speak to
have
that.
health care, jobs, equal opportunity.
But not work in schools. Can they teach school?
They can teach in students, but then you can't influence the children to think that it is all right. That is their choice.
Is gayness not all right?
Well, okay, not that it's not all right, but it's a choice to be made once you're an adult.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
A little cheddar makes a plain potato scrumptious, but without the cheddar cheese.
Nothing.
So add a little cheddar cheese.
Thank you.
And add a lot of taste. Cheese makes all the difference.
Marshall and Art are going to improve our club's records.
But club's a tradition.
Sometimes traditions were meant to be broken.
Wow.
Keebler Club crackers, now an easy-to-serve single.
Uh-oh.
Believe me, I know how bad it feels when you think that you're not part of the crowd. But taking drugs to sinning, I just want for that.
From Touchstone Pictures, this Valentine's Day, see the movie with heart with someone you love.
He's like you, Dad. Except he's brilliant.
See Steve Martin in America's #1 comedy, Father of the Bride, rated PG. Now playing.
Because there's a thrifty near you, you're within easy reach of affordable, top-rated Kodak photo finishing, satisfaction guaranteed, and on time or you don't pay. And you can depend on a caring pharmacist who can transfer your prescription from any other pharmacy. This Valentine's Day, save 25% off men's and women's fragrances. Russell Stover chocolates just $3.77 and $4.99, and Martini and Rossi or Corbel just $7.99. This store-wide sale ends Tuesday. And don't miss our award-winning ice cream. Thrifty and you, bringing it home.
Capture the moment with Twining's tea. So elegant, so tasteful.
Bill, if I could
please,
just
Reverend
make my
Mayshore
closing
wanted to
statement.
say.
We are not against gay people. We are not against them being gay or having rights or living in this country.
That's right.
That's what America is all about.
That's right.
Concord is a live and let live community. I just believe that it's wrong for the city to start legislating laws and spending taxpayer dollars on sexual behavior, and I don't think that is the direction our country should go. We need less government and not more.
That is a complete lie, Lloyd, for the simple fact that things are happening in the community, like our Human Relations Commission is possibly in the process of being cut back. It helps blacks, it helps Hispanics, it helps Jews, it helps gays.
We also have a $4 million deficit that we are trying to balance our budget, and they want $100,000 a year
used to be a
for
good
their
place
celebration.
to live, Lloyd, before you and Mark came in and made it what it is today.
Maybe if the city of Concord would spend time balancing their budget and stay off the backs of people who are hurting, who are minorities, they might not have that money.
Blacks are upset, Jews are upset, everybody is.
Yes.
I think that first thing we need to get straight is that this is not a black-white issue. It's gayness is separate from ethnicity, okay? But the thing that scares me is it frightens me when we've got a political body pushing things to the side. Because if you're going to push this issue of gayness to the side, what else are you going to hide from new people?
The council, the city council government of Concord, California, wants you to know that they approved the idea of Gay Pride Week, for example.
Okay,
Yes.
I just want to say that I think it's really pathetic. I think your town is moving backwards instead of forward.
Right.
And there's a lot of homosexuals in this country, and if you're not going to recognize their rights, you're moving back.
And we think what's going on in San Francisco is moving backwards, not forwards. And history upholds that position.
Are you there?
Hi, yes, I am.
What do you think?
I'd like to know what the guy up there, what kind of a Christian he is.
Which guy?
He has the collar on. I don't know his name.
What denomination are you?
Yeah.
Metropolitan Community Church, a Christian Trinitarian church that has the same statement of faith that of the Baptist Church and the Catholic Church has. There's really no difference at all.
I was just curious how big a population are there as gays that they feel so threatened? I mean,
How many gays are there?
because they said they're afraid of opening more gay bars and other things that they feel so threatened.
They are. They seem to be concerned about more gay bars. Yes, yes.
I'm curious. You were saying, the second gentleman in, that you went up to San Francisco and you were surprised by what you saw. Why'd you bring a video camera?
Because we've been having this battle for 5 years in our community, and I wondered what gay pride was all about, and I got an
Mark knew what it was about. It's been on television every year.
You forget about...
I'd just like to ask the two guys on the left, if you found out that somebody was beating his wife or kids, would you try to kick him out of your town?
No, that's a civil matter, ma'am. We'd have the police take care of that. It's not right to do that.
And we'd also have the police take care of it if
Walt Disney Pictures' classic, The Adventures of the Great Mouse Detective, is back in theaters. So get ready for action. Get ready for fun. Get ready for The world's greatest mouse detective. He's on the trail of the world's biggest rat.
What did you call me?
Now the chase is on.
Tally-ho!
In a fight to the finish you'll never forget. Only in theaters, it's Walt Disney Pictures' The Adventures of the Great Mouse Detective. Rated G.
Now playing at theaters near you. Every day this winter, you see some things rising and some things falling. But one thing stays the same. Low-key buy prices at Lucky. Savings like Pepsi-Cola products, just $2.99. Sunny Delight Citrus Punch, only 99 cents each. Wishbone salad dressings, now $1.99.
Proven lower Lucky prices. Count on that every day.
Dear Dave, you know what I do all day? Drive to basketball practice, piano lessons, and ballet. And that's just Monday. So we love your super value menu. We stop when we get a minute for Biggie Fries, a Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe, and Caesar side salad. And I know beforehand what it costs because everything's 99 cents each. Dave, please keep Wendy's super value menu because soon you'll have another customer. Your friend, Lori.
Dear Lori, thanks. If you haven't thought of names, Dave's a nice one.
I've always had more style than money. That's why Payless is such a find. I mean, when I see a pair of to die for must-have shoes somewhere, I know I can just go to Payless and find the same style. And, well, pay less. So you don't really have to have a lot of money to have a lot of style. You just have to know where to shop.
Don't miss these women's casuals at Payless on sale for just $9.99 or 2 for $17.99. For a lot of style, for a little money. Who'd have guessed? Payless.
I think the most important part of my job at 1-800-DENTIST is listening. I try to really understand the needs of the patients so that I can refer them to just the right dentist.
I get a lot of calls from people who are new to the area. Others are in pain and need to see a dentist right away. It's nice to be able to help them.
People want to know about a dentist before choosing one. At 1-800-DENTIST, we make it easy.
Everyone needs a dentist, and at 1-800-DENTIST, we make sure you get a great one. Call us today.
Richard Brown and Carolyn Joe, tonight on Channel 7 News at 6. For a transcript of today's program, send $3 check or money order to Donahue Transcripts, 1535 Grand Street, Denver, Colorado, 80203, or call 303-831-9000.
He gave her romance. But is he in love with her or in love with her money? Male gold diggers next Donahue.
We will watch with interest what happens in Concord, California, as a referendum passed by 43 votes disallowing the establishment of an anti-gay ordinance. Yes.
It's becoming my impression from spending the last hour in this room that people don't seem to understand that gays and lesbians are discriminated against, even though you've said that, of course, that should be understood. And since they are
Services provided and promotional fees paid by the following. The Drake offers an exciting weekend in New York at a special